In 2011, Sony Pictures Animation, along with Aardman, the studio that gave us Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit, gave us this here little festive flick. Let's talk about Arthur Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Ho, ho, ho.
So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2011 computer animated science fantasy comedy holiday flick, Arthur Christmas, released by Columbia along with Sony Pictures Animation and produced by Aardman. Featuring the voices of James McAvoy, Hugh Laurie, Bill Nighy, Jim Broadbent, Imelda Staunton, and Ashley Jensen. The film was directed by Sarah Smith and co-directed by Barry Cook. Now, this was Aardman's second entirely computer animated feature after 2006's Flushed Away, which didn't quite do so well. Which is why DreamWorks did not renew their partnership with them. So they signed a deal with Sony, as the film was originally to be titled Operation Rudolph, but then they changed it. Anyway, the film is set on Christmas Eve, and the film centers on Arthur Claus, the clumsy but well-meaning son of Santa, who discovers that his father's high-tech ship has failed to deliver one girl's present. And accompanied only by his free-spirited and reckless grandfather and an enthusiastic young elf obsessed with wrapping gifts for children and a team of reindeer, he embarks on a mission to deliver the girl's present personally. Well, I've seen this a few times, just more recently on Amazon Prime. I think this is pretty good, and I feel like this is kind of an underrated holiday film. But the film, however, did get good reviews, and I'd say it did a little better than the film I had just recently talked about, Flushed Away. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, well, I'd say that, yeah, Flushed Away didn't do too well in the US, but if I can check real quickly, well, it did a little bit, didn't quite do as much, but it did a little bit better, a little bit okay, but didn't make as much as the latter. So, if you're ready, let's get into our story. Instead of a single individual, Santa Claus is a hereditary title belonging to gift givers that has been carried on for many generations. The current Santa, known as Malcolm Claus, is heading his 70th mission, but his role has largely been reduced to that of a figurehead. The traditional sleigh and reindeer have been replaced by the S1, a high-tech vessel operated by hundreds of elves that use advanced equipment and military precision to deliver presents. The complex Christmas operations are micromanaged from a North Pole based mission control by Malcolm's eldest son, Steve, who expects to be handed down the role of Santa following his father's retirement. Meanwhile, Malcolm's younger son, Arthur, answers letters sent from children to Santa. During one of the delivery operations in Poland, a toy is accidentally activated, waking a child and nearly revealing Santa. A tense escape operation ensues, during which an elf aboard the S1 learns on a button, causing a present to fall from the supply line and go unnoticed. Another elf named Bryony Shelfley later finds the missed present, a wrapped bicycle for a young girl named Gwen living in Trelew, Cornwall, whose letter Arthur had personally responded to. Arthur is heartbroken to hear a child's been missed and urges his father and brother to use the S1 and deliver the final present. But Steve argues that one missed present out of billions is an acceptable error, citing this year's Christmas as the most successful in history. Malcolm's cynical elderly father and predecessor, Grand Santa, whisked Arthur away to deliver it in Eve, the original wooden sleigh that is pulled by the descendants of the flying reindeer. Bryony is revealed to have stolen away and joins the pair, but they get lost on four different continents, lose several of their reindeer, and encounter many obstacles, ultimately being mistaken for aliens and causing an international military incident. Arthur is shocked and hurt to learn that Grand Santa only agreed to go on the trip to boost his own ego. Malcolm is indifferent to the missing present, and Steve refuses to help them because he believes Arthur's efforts could undermine his attempts to become the next Santa. Finally, stranded on an island in Cuba, Arthur becomes disillusioned with his family and nearly gives up. However, he realizes that so long as the gift is delivered one way or another, the Santa Arthur and Gwen look up to exists in the hearts of children. Reinvigorated, Arthur manages to get the sleigh back and the trio sets off for England. Meanwhile, the elves grow increasingly alarmed at rumors of the neglected delivery and the claus's indifference, sending them into a panic. In response, Malcolm tricks his wife Margaret into believing Steve gave them permission to use the S1 to deliver Gwen's gift, only for a furious Steve to confront his father on board, and a dejected Malcolm recognizes his inability to properly lead. Steve drives the S1 and delivers a superior present, only to realize that Malcolm had accidentally set the address to the wrong child, revealing Steve's inability to connect with children. Alright, now for the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Arthur's group reach England but lose the remaining reindeer. Furthermore, a predator drone scrambled by Chief De Silva of Unfita intercepts and opens fire on the sleigh, believing it to be an alien spacecraft. Grand Santa sacrifices Eve, while Arthur and Bryony parachute to the ground. All passes in of Gwen's house before she awakens, only to have everyone but Arthur quarrel about who gets to actually place the gift. Noticing that Arthur was the only one who genuinely cared about Gwen's happiness, the elder clauses collectively realize that he is the sole worthy successor. As a result, Steve recognizes his own shortcomings, forfeits his birthright, and acknowledges his brother's worthiness to take up the mantle. With Malcolm admitting he's truly proud of both his sons, Gwen glimpses a snow-bearded Arthur in a wind-buffeted sweater just before he vanishes up into the S1. In a postscript, Malcolm goes into a happy retirement with Margaret, where he also becomes Grand Santa's much-desired new companion and plays Arthur's board game with him for many happy hours. Meanwhile, Steve finds true contentment as the chief operating officer of the North Pole. Brownie is promoted to vice president of Rapping Pacific Division. The high-tech S1 is rechristened Evie in honor of Grand Santa's old sleigh and refitted to be pulled by a team of 5,000 reindeer led by the original 8, all of whom have returned home safely. And at the helm, Arthur happily guides the entire enterprise as Santa Claus 21. End of story. So, what did I think of Arthur Christmas? Well, I gotta say, while I do consider this to be an underrated Christmas flick, but nonetheless, I thought it was absolutely really good. I think the people at Aardman did an exceptionally good job, and while I have seen this more than their previous attempt flushed away, I've only seen it maybe once. But anyway, I think they did an exceptionally good job with it. Despite the film may not have done so well here in the US, like the latter, it still did okay. It went on to make 46 million here in the in the US in North America and 33 in the UK, plus 67 million in other countries, making it an overall total of 147 million. Even though that's short of what Flushed Away made overall, but nevertheless, it was still in a way a success. It got good reviews and what have you. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and according to them, they say Aardman Animations broadens their humor a bit for Arthur Christmas, a clever and earnest holiday film with surprising emotional strength. I couldn't have said it better myself about that. Newsday praised the film as not only funny and fresh, but a new way of tackling the whole Yuletide paradigm. Excuse me if I mispronounced that, I apologize. Santa as a high tech hereditary monarchy. Anyway, I think the story was really good. As the story was written by Peter Bainham and Sarah Smith. They did a good job. Sarah Smith's direction was really good. Even the co-direction from Barry Cook was good. The music from Harry Gregson Williams was really good as well. There was also a soundtrack as well, which again was composed by Harry Gregson Williams, who had recently composed the score for Chicken Run and Flushed Away. Now there would also be Santa Claus is Coming to Town, a pop style done by Justin Bieber at the end credits. There would also be there would even be a video game, but it would be released on the iTunes App Store called Arthur Christmas Elf Run. And there was another one called the Arthur Christmas Movie Storybook. So anyway, that sounded like a nice move. But anyway, the voice acting cast was exceptionally good. Voicing Arthur is James McAvoy, who a few months before this, that same year, would really get a big start by playing young Professor Charles Xavier in the X-Men prequel series. And of course, he recently did the film Wanted before that. Hugh Laurie, who of course you know best as TV's House MD and from the Stuart Little films, voices Stephen. Voicing Grand Santa is Bill Nighy, who recently appeared in the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels, the second and third ones. Voicing Malcolm is Jim Broadbent, who's done numerous films. I know him from a lot of films. Moulin Rouge, and later on he did the Paddington movies. He'd also play even before he recently played Professor Slughorn in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I know he also appeared in the other two, I do believe. Let's see here. Imelda Staunton, also from the world of Harry Potter. She played Professor Umbridge in The Order of the Phoenix. She would appear in Deathly Hallows Part 1. And actually, she was also part of Paddington. She had recently voiced Paddington's Aunt Lucy. She was also the voice of Bunty in Chicken Run. And she voiced Margaret Claus. We have Ashley Jensen as Bryony. Very good. Let's see. We even have Laura Linney, Eva Longoria, and many others. We even get another Harry Potter alumni, the late great Robbie Coltrane, whom we sadly lost this year, voicing one of the lead elves, as well as Andy Serkis, who worked on the Lord of the Rings trilogy as Gollum, and of course he also did work on other films. And so was Joan Cusack and Dominic West as well. They voiced the lead elves as well. So anyway, I think Arthur Christmas is an exceptionally really good film. So with everything I've said about it, would I recommend this film? I would say yes, definitely. Give Arthur Christmas a try. I think you'll really like it if you give it a try. It's just so much fun to check out. I think this, again, I feel like this is an underrated Christmas film, so I'd say this is definitely worth looking into. So, what are your thoughts on Arthur Christmas? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my Saturday morning TV log of Lidsville. Looking forward to that. So, thank you again for watching. And if you like this, check out my reviews for these other festive films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of The Santa Claus from 1994. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Santa Claus the movie. Or if you'd like something different, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Chicken Run that I did earlier this month. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.